Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics. Calculate the velocity v in relation to the trajectory t in which g, gravity, of course, remains a constant.
The developers of Fallout made the game with the intention that you would use a wide variety of different weapons, whether that be a gun, a futuristic laser rifle, or nuclear warheads. But what they did not intend for a player to do was for the player to cosplay as Babe Ruth and run around the wasteland swinging a baseball bat around. So, the only rules for this playthrough is that when we have the choice, the baseball bat is our only weapon we can use. This means no guns, explosives, or other melee weapons. We also must only wear baseball vanity. This includes the baseball uniform and the Diamond City Guard uniforms. After watching my wife get released from her slumber and then getting, I got out of my sleep and was able to put my stats in. I called myself
the Great Bambino!
And then very, very stupidly allocated all my stats into all the wrong places. I completely just sent it with my stats with no research and resulted in a very not optimized build. What I should have done was only put 9 points into agility and not strength, put nothing into perception, and put just enough points into strength to get armor and blacksmith, and then put enough points to get science with intelligence. Endurance was good to keep the same, and all the other points, if I did have any left, didn't really matter. Because I did not get 9 agility, I was never able to get the Blitz perk, which is a super good melee VATS perk that allows you to hit people from way further in VATS. To get out of the vault, I had to face my first challenge, as I did not have a bat in the vault, so I could not kill any of the roaches. What I did was lock all of the roaches behind the doors as I ran through the vault, and then I sneaked at the end until I was hidden. The first thing I did when I eventually got out of the vault is that I ran straight past everything and into Concord, as behind the door of the first house on your right, you will find your first and only weapon, the baseball bat. I then went back into Sanctuary, where I got the special book and cleared up the bugs from the houses. I then spammed shells for XP and ran back to Concord. But, not to help the Minutemen. I killed the raiders and took their armor for money and then ran to Diamond City. Once I got to Diamond City, I sold all of my stuff and then bought my weapon for the entire playthrough, the Rockville Slugger. The Rockville Slugger is a legendary bat that makes it so attacking with VATS uses less AP. While I bought the bat, I also bought the baseball uniform. And then after that, I went behind Diamond City to find a sleeping Diamond City guard, and while hiding, I murdered him with a perk that allows me to kill anybody if they are sleeping. And then I stole all his armor to wear. After getting my final armor and weapon, I went back to Concord to help the Minutemen. While I clear out the Museum of Freedom, I think that I should talk over my game plan for the playthrough. As I level up, I will distribute points between Blacksmith and Science in order to get better and better mods for the bat. And while I am doing that, I'll be finishing the bare minimum Railroad quest in order to get Ballistic Weave for my baseball uniform. While I'm grinding out levels in armor and weapons, I'll be finishing up Brotherhood of Steel quests as I'll be statting with them for this playthrough, which as you will see later, was not a smart option. After I got out of the Museum of Freedom, I beat up the Deathclaw with my new over-leveled gear, and then ditched the Minutemen for the rest of the playthrough. After that, I ran straight to go and help Nick Valentine, where I'd find my first struggles. Hordes of enemies with guns are real problems, and I cannot do anything to fight them. The triggermen gave me real problems, and eventually I just had to run past them into the vault, as I would have had to use all of my meds to kill them all. After I saved Nick, we ran through until we ran into Skinny Malone, where I would spam VATS and cave his skull in. Once I saved Nick, I decided I wanted to get more levels. The strat I settled on was copper statue spamming, but first I would need to clear the iron orcs to get it. After all of that, I went back to Diamond City, where I would pickpocket the key to Kellogg's house and then follow Dog Meat all the way to where Kellogg was. Before I entered the building, I went back to Sanctuary, where I would upgrade my bat to the Rocket Bat, and then I would go back and enter the building. After killing Kellogg, I brought his brain to Good Neighbor, where I would enter his brain and then speedrun through his memory. After that, I spammed more copper statues and upgraded my bat once more to the puncturing rocket. With my other levels, I spec'd into Lone Wanderer, as Dog Meat does not count towards Lone Wanderer. Before I headed off to Virgil, I decided to go and help Paladin Dance to progress the Brotherhood of Steel. I then followed Paladin Dance and then blasted him with a massive rocket. After all of that, I was able to board the floating blimp they had and be accepted into the Brotherhood. After I talked to the Brotherhood, I decided to go and find the railroad and start completing their quest to get the ballistic weave. After spending an hour and a half running around doing tedious railroad tasks, I unlocked Ballistic Weave and then was able to add it to my baseball uniform to seriously boost my defense. I then went to the doctor in Diamond City and bought 5,000 caps worth of radiation medicine to prepare for the glowing sea. Once I caught on that I never started recording, I was already in the middle of Fort Strong doing a Brotherhood mission so I could build the Institute relay. And I have bad news. When I rode into Fort Strong, they put me on a minigun and told me to shoot a mutant behemoth. I circled for around 20 minutes hoping I would land eventually, and I wouldn't have to shoot it and kill it. This is what I meant by siding with the Brotherhood being a mistake. I could have ran through the main entrance with the bat, but by then it was too late and I already accepted defeat. This same situation would happen again later when doing a different Brotherhood quest. So, as long as you are with the Brotherhood, you can't beat the game with the bat. But, if you were to go with the Minutemen, you could definitely beat it. After that whole debacle, and me clearing Fort Strong, I was able to build the Institute relay and go into the Institute. After talking with Sean, I went to the Institute doctor to convince her to come back to the Brotherhood. And after that, I went back to Sean and bludgeoned him in the head. After becoming an enemy of the Institute, it was everybody's favorite part of Fallout.
We might be buddy.
Another settlement has sent word.
No, not settlement building,
We're working with
Liberty
the
Prime
designers.
building, which is just as
I don't see
tedious.
it getting any better than that.
After doing hours of Brotherhood quests and killing Paladin Dance, I was finally able to start up Liberty Prime and begin the ending of the game.
Just think about it first.
You're not, Sean!
You're just gonna leave me here? I can't believe it.